Like, it's an absolute privilege to do this work. It is absolutely important to do this work, because I still think that, like, what is happening right now is insufficient to, the systems in place are insufficient to support our mental health. And we see piles and piles and piles of evidence to that effect, right? Suicide rates are on the rise, depression is on the rise, anxiety is on the rise, technology addiction is on the rise, loneliness is on the rise, touch starvation is on the rise, right? Thankfully, we have a lot of other institutions that are aware of these problems and trying to do something about them. The Office of the U.S. Surgeon General, the World Health Organization, the United Nations. A lot of people are trying to do something about this. And this is the small slice that I have chosen to try to help this problem. You know, I hope to continue to do so. I feel privileged that I will continue to be.
Is it worth going over this? I don't know if this is worth it or not. He's there are like 3 layers to this. You have the board received some type of information, and they decided to investigate based on what's been said publicly. No, I'm so sorry. I think even based on what was on the board's writing, they received a complaint, or they received some sort of notification. Complaint. It sounds like they reached out to Dr. K to talk about it. Hey, just so you know, we received this complaint. We're investigating. It sounds like Dr. K said, okay, well, hey, why don't you go ahead and just expand your investigation and look at all the content we do so that we can get some type of ruling on it. And then the board went through everything, and it seems like, especially in regards to the Reckful stuff, the board evaluated all of Dr. K's content, especially in regards to Byron's suicide. And the board, in factoring in all of this stuff, came to a decision. So the board factors in a ton of stuff about a complaint. They get a complaint. They do all of their investigation. They do a lot of work. And as they're deliberating, something that they're seeing, okay, something that they're seeing is something that you're doing is not right. Probably you shouldn't do this thing anymore, or something that you've done wasn't right, and you shouldn't do that ever again. Something in there was determined. And they also said that for the most part, most of what you do is fine, so you can continue on doing most of what you are doing, okay? So from this investigation, there is a consent order that is made public where the board lists, here's some like public stuff that we've observed, like here are some facts. It might be pertaining to the complaint. It might not be. It might be pertaining to what came up in their investigation. It might not be. It's probably related to why the reprimand was issued, but we don't know for sure. But here's a consent order. We've gone through all of your content. You're safe for all of it now, okay, because we've gone through all of it. However, we're going to issue a reprimand because something you did was not 100% A-okay, okay? Probably wasn't a huge deal because it was just a reprimand. There wasn't a license suspension or termination or something more serious, but still not like the best, okay? I think that what this process allows to happen is it means that the board got to do like a full review and an investigation. They probably got to communicate privately to Dr. K, hey, just so you know, this is what we found, okay? You probably should never do this particular thing again. My guess is going to be something to do with Reckful, just because of the facts that were laid out in the consent order. That's my guess. And Dr. K probably said, like, okay, sure, yeah, I won't do that anymore. Sure, okay, yeah, I understand. I mean, he's dead, so that's not happening. Like, we do things differently now, it's fine. We've already implemented a bunch of things that are different, which I believe was listed in the consent order. And I think Dr. K said as much. Oh, look, we're already changing all of our processes, right? So when this reprimand goes out, I think it allows 2 different things to happen that are beneficial for both parties. One, it allows the board to say, we've gone over this, we did our due diligence, we made sure that nothing crazy is going to happen in the future, and we've taken care of that, and we've issued a reprimand for behavior that we thought wasn't 100% on the up and up. But it also allows Dr. K to come away and say, hey, look, they went over all of our content. None of our stuff is changing substantively. And I didn't do anything so horrible because it was just like, it was just a reprimand that's going to last for however much, period of time. I don't know how long a reprimand you have to post that notice for. Yeah. So I think this is, I think more or less this is what's happened. I think when Dr. K says they went through everything and they said that nothing we did was wrong, that can't be true because they issued a reprimand. They didn't issue the reprimand for nothing. Something happened that they weren't happy with, but it's likely, given a good faith interpretation of Dr. K and assuming that the board isn't like a horrible corrupt institution, it's likely that whatever bad behavior they thought did happen has already been remedied by the new processes and procedures that Dr. K and his org have implemented, and they're not as concerned about it going forward. That's yeah. I think that's more or less what's happened here. Okay.